I don't know how you change that, but I do see a double standard.
Well, here, I'll post this.
And imagine with me, Amon, right? You much like me, believes in the Second Amendment. My family's from the South. My 95-year-old grandma, literally behind her bedroom door, had a shotgun until the day she died. My entire family owned guns, right? We learned how to shoot guns at a very young age. Imagine with me if every single black person would actually register their guns, become legal, and then, to your point, Amon, join the NRA. Now, why is this so critical? This is critical not just simply because it gives black people the legitimization and a voice, but the NRA is one of the largest lobbyist groups in the entire country. Second to the healthcare industry, the NRA is a multi-million-dollar lobbying group that influences Congress on a daily basis. When you see what happened just a few weeks ago, where Representative John Lewis from Georgia led a sit-in in Congress for 24 hours for sensible gun control, and not one Republican decided, and no disrespect, decided to vote for sensible gun control, it has everything to do with the fact that they understand that if they're going to get re-elected, they need money, because money fuels politics and the political arena in America. And the NRA has been a major support system for many of the individuals that decided to vote against the sensible gun control laws. So if in fact we were to join, this is just hypothetical, the NRA, not only would we have a voice, but we would have a vote as to where those funds go and to what congressman, what senator would be able to get those funds that would vote in our best interest. Listen, if you've never lived in the hood, if you've never been disenfranchised, if you've never been judged and prejudged based on the color of your skin, you'll never be able to relate to those of us who have. All of this becomes foreign. But when we have a seat at the table and are able to have a voice and a vote about what's happening with the state of affairs for black and brown people, then things will change in a heartbeat. I'm not opposed to us joining the NRA, and maybe something that we need to consider.
Well, Armand, to spin off what you just said about the double standard, so I'll pose another thought. So, in my training to become a clinician in psychology and school counseling and psychology, they make sure that we're culturally competent on everybody we're dealing with. Asian, Native American, black. I read stuff about African Americans. So I think that needs to happen with these law enforcement.
Cultural
competency.
Absolutely.
Because I got a client in a summer camp, and one of the young brothers, he's like 23, and we just had a random conversation. He's like, man, I want to become a police officer. My dad's a police officer, and he's from Mount Airy, and he's like, man, I'm taking the test now. Good dude, streetwise, smart guy. And I said, man, that's so great, because you know the culture, you know the environment, you know that this guy may look like he's aggressive, but that's Al from around the corner. He not doing nothing. He don't mean no harm.
Man.
Right. little man right. Enough. He don't mean no harm. You know the nonverbal.
Right.
And there's the cultural competency has been totally lost. It's gone. I mean, for that brother to be gunned down and treated like some trap star. This dude was a scholar, man. I almost cried, like when they was running down the stuff he had accomplished. I'm like, man, this guy license to carry. Right. He was just trying to get his license out.
Right.
So I'm gonna bounce that off on y'all, man. Like, where do you feel like the cultural competency plays a part? How can we even make that official and things of that nature?
Well, I think people got to be honest, man. They got to be really honest. And everyone, I'm talking about all Americans. Okay. Because I see people say, oh, I don't judge. Oh, I don't see skin color. You're lying. Every single human being, when they walk out the house, they judge what people got on, who's cool, how you look, how you talk, everything. Do you want to work with this person? Do you not want to be around this person? Do you think this person is a liar? Do you think this person is not a liar? We judge and make assessments. But the thing that I try to do when I'm catching myself making a stereotypical judgment, I check myself. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. I'm driving, I make an assessment about who cut me off, and I make a cultural assessment. I guarantee you they like this. I catch myself like, I thought I knew who that was in that car. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. But it's still a stereotype, and all the stereotypes, there's truth in every stereotype, but everybody's stereotype, and it's all about how you check your stereotypes. So it is a twinge when you see me walking in somewhere, if you're black, white, you immediately in your brain start firing off judgments and assessments. You're assessing everything you see. I can have my pants hanging down, I can have my hat, I can have a suit on. You're assessing. If I got a suit on, if I got a tank top on with tattoos, you're assessing and you're making judgments. You could be 90% wrong all the time. But we're constantly making judgments, and people try to say that I don't judge. I see that a lot online. I don't judge anybody. I'm like, it's impossible to be a human being and look at people every day, be downtown, and not make any assessment.
You're clearly not colorblind unless you're a child.
It's a lie. So I believe that you got to be sensitive to certain cultures. Like when I went to Iran, I immediately adjusted to their culture about how they do things. I didn't go over there just do whatever. I adjusted and respected their culture. I had to get up when they started praying in the morning, 5 in the morning. I woke up and we had to go to breakfast early. So I kind of adjusted to their culture while I was there, and I think that many people don't understand other people's culture, even though this is America. Some people don't understand other people's culture. They don't understand certain things, and the media plays such a huge role. We never touched on this, but the media plays such a huge role with these issues, because a lot of people are just living vicariously through the media and what they hear, and they never interacted with certain individuals or certain communities. And I believe that some people want to police bad neighborhoods to be in drama. I think some people I want to police this area so I can get in, so I can create some drama, or I can fight crime and shoot people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all cops are doing that, but I think it is a percentage that are actually want to go in Southwest and want to bang some heads.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, the idiocy.
And I don't know how you get around that. My sister is a Marine, and she's overseas right now. She said what she thinks the issue is they're not trained. They're not trained well enough. She said, if they send us to Afghanistan right now, she said, I won't break a sweat. If we go on a mission, I'm not going to break a sweat. Because we have been trained day in, day out, 16 hours a day for a year and a half for that time. So when you hear something, you don't respond to that. I'm not responding to this. Keep your eyes on this. Got to be here at 12 o'clock. We out of here about 12:42. And they're very trained and disciplined. I don't think cops go through that rigorous training. I think they got to finish the mile in what, 10 minutes, which is offensive.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother thing, because the pay grade is low. The role isn't reprised like it used to be. So, the requirements aren't the same. But I want to focus on what you kind of said about the colorblind thing, whereas people get so offensive when folks say, "Come on, man, we all know this color." Keon's daughter doesn't, because she hasn't been socialized yet. You know what I mean? Kids are the only ones who don't see color. So I don't even
see energy.
They just see energy. Are you safe or you not safe? That's all they know.
You taking my toy, man. I taking my toy. I'm stopping this dude.
Right. You know what I mean? Who's feeding me? Okay, all right. So I don't even want to hear that. But I want to focus on this real quick, because it's a shame how those cops got gunned down, because it took away the focus. Because we really, man, I mean, we had this conversation off the air, but I've never seen anything like the protests in New York, Dallas. I mean, peaceful, all colors, all racial backgrounds, and that was beautiful to see. Rallying around those two guys that got killed this week, and then you have 5 policemen gunned down, and it shifted the focus right away. And what's even harmful is it happened at a Black Lives Matter peace treaty. Yeah. So in essence, they can no longer be called peace treaties, because 5 people died there. So
Well, I want to push back on that because I disagree. I think they can still be called peaceful moments. Here's why: because the individual that killed the 5 officers, shot another 7, was not part of the Black Lives Matter movement. When we look at the historicity, right? When we look at the historicity of the Black Lives Matter movement, it was always grounded in action that was surrounded and undergirded by peace and love. Sure, individuals were angry. Sure, people were frustrated. But at the end of the day, these individuals are very clear that we did not want the sort of violence to take place that we have now seen on national TV.
But now they have that tag, though.
They have the tag now, which is unfortunate. Now, let's push this even further, right? When you look at the individual, that the sniper that shot the 12 police officers, this individual was 25 years old. Mm-hmm. He is a veteran. He fought in Afghanistan. And his very words were, "I'm tired of white people and I want to kill white police officers." Completely detached and removed from the Black Lives Matter movement. This was an individual that went to Afghanistan to fight for freedom for America, only to come back to America to realize that black people in America didn't even have freedom.
Right, bugged out.
So let's look at the mental health around individuals who, much like they did in Vietnam, where Muhammad Ali said, "I'm not going because no Vietnam ever called me a nigger," quote unquote. Because here's why. What those individuals did in Vietnam, those black individuals that fought in Vietnam did, is that they fought for a country that would not even give them freedom when they came back to America. They still had to sit on the back of the bus. They still had to drink from the black-only water fountain. They still had to go in the back of Walmart to try clothes on. This is the same sort of ethos that's taking place in the 21st century with this 25-year-old that's saying, "I fought in Afghanistan for the freedom of America," only to come back to America to realize that my own people are not fully free. Right. So much so that this individual, who should be able to readily identify much more clearly with police officers than you and I, civilians, goes against his own brothers in blue to take out 5 innocent lives. And we need to do a moment of silence before we get off air for those 5 innocent lives that were lost as well. And then shoot an additional 7 police officers because of how he felt about what was taking place with the Eric Gardners, the Freddie Grays, and all the black hashtags that have taken place across this country for the last few years. That is an epidemic. That's a serious problem. Listen, we've got to deal with the trauma that's involved with this sort of action. When you look at what happened in Louisiana, with this, in Minnesota, with this young man, Brother Castillo, who was licensed to carry, all right, who has a seatbelt on, and the outstanding, astonishing character and wherewithal that his girlfriend was able to have, completely in shock, completely calm, still saying yes sir, still obeying the officer's rules. What we fail to realize, and what we have not been brought up in this conversation, Armand, we can't neglect the fact that her 4-year-old daughter was seated in the back seat. What sort of mental health / trauma is involved with a 4-year-old girl who's seated 2 feet away from her stepfather's death as she witnesses a police officer that she was told would protect her, who now kills and puts a bullet in the body of her stepfather? What sort of mental health issues will now arise from that young girl? And in addition, what sort of trauma will be inculcated in black and brown bodies across this country because of what we have been witnessing across this country for the last few years, where black people are treated as cattle and hanging from proverbial trees as strange fruit? We've got to deal with that as well.
Well, you know what, guys? This is nothing new. I think, Keon, you probably said it earlier. We just caught up with technology, so we can capture all these things. you know, stuff was just quietly kind of just going forward. You know, like